welcome back. After a week break, we're back with Uncle Don's Friday night cocktail hour. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it being July, it's usually the time of the year for the Tour de France, but there is no Tour de France this year. In addition to that, 4 days from now, 14th of July, is Bastille Day. So for all you French people out there, for all you people who like the Tour de France, I'm going to make a drink today called the French 75. Now, this is an old drink. It's been around for a long time. It originated, I think, in World War I back in France. And it was named the French 75 after a French gun, a 75 millimeter artillery gun. And the French officers like to drink this drink because it pounded you like a French 75 drink. So it is a little bit on the strong side, but still, it's a very delicious drink. Very, very nice nice and cool on a really hot day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna show you how to make the French 75. First of all, ingredients. Well, we're gonna use gin. Now, gin is probably one of the more common ingredients, main spirit ingredient, but the French 75 has a lot of variations that we'll talk about in just a minute. We've got some freshly squeezed lime juice. We've got the simple syrup that we used for the Gotham Goose, and we've got us a nice fresh lemon for garnish. And then you can either use champagne or Prosecco, something sparkling, and I've got a little Lidl special here, Prosecco, that we're going to use. And then, of course, my good old cocktail shaker. All right, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to fill our cocktail shaker up with ice. And this is one of the fun parts because we're going to eventually get to shake this, which I know you all love very much. All right, so a little talk first about ingredients. I'm going to use 2 ounces of gin. Now, and if you want to make a more traditional French 75, you can substitute for the simple syrup Cointreau. And if you want to make a more New Orleans-based French 75, instead of using gin, you can use cognac. There's also a drink named a French 76. And a French 76, instead of using gin, you use vodka, which we know we like, Svedka vodka. And then, even more interesting, there's a French 95. And a French 95, instead of using gin or vodka, you'll use bourbon. And I have a nice Belle Meade bourbon here from Tennessee. It's one of my favorite bourbons if you've never tried it. Simple, nice drink. All right, well, we're gonna make a standard French 75 with gin today. So, first things first, got your cocktail shaker, it's filled with ice. You're gonna pour out 2 ounces of your London Dry gin, and that's been hanging out in my freezer for quite a while, so it's nice and cold. All right, next thing we're going to do here is we're going to do a teaspoonful of simple syrup. So I've got my nice little teaspoon measurer right here, so we'll pour that right into the measuring spoon, and then a ½ ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. So there we go. Let's pour that out, and it's going to be a delicious drink. I can't wait to taste it. It's Friday night. All right, so there we go. Now, that all goes in the shaker. We're going to shake that. So you know what's next. Take it away. Tasting the sunshine drink.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Oh.
Okay, we're back. So, you know what's next? Let's mix this drink. I've got some pre-chilled champagne flutes, and what we're basically going to do is we're going to pour this guy into the champagne flute, and that's about enough right there, roughly about half, and we'll put that aside. And then the next ingredient we're going to add is going to be the Prosecco or champagne. Now, I wouldn't use a vintage champagne, obviously. You know, if you have a really good vintage champagne, that's too good to use for a mix. But for a non-vintage champagne or a nice Prosecco, you know, it will go beautifully. So here we go. Great sound coming up here. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And then we basically pour that over the concoction. There we go. And the next step, of course, is a nice lemon peel garnish, which is going to be just delightful in this drink. And one of my favorite garnishes is plain and simple lemon peel. And squeeze that over the drink a little bit, swirl it around, kiss the rim, and drop it inside. And that is a traditional gin-based French 75. Cheers. Hope you guys aren't missing the Tour de France too much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Oh, that's good. Cheers.